Hi, I'm Dr. Melita Housley from Procuro Psychology. I've been asked a question which I'm going to try and answer today. Sorry about what I'm wearing. I'm about to go for a run. Self-care, practice what you preach. The question is, how do you hold boundaries but not squash your child's spirit and not lose your mind with a strong-willed child? Which I think is an excellent question. So the first thing I would say is, as I've just said, self-care, self-compassion. As a parenting is really hard, and as a parent, our children test us, don't they? They know every button you've got and they will press it, and it's really, really hard to stay calm in that moment. So anything that you can do outside of those moments that just enables you to fill your own cup up so that you feel that you can kind of get through those really tricky moments and stay calm and stay present and feel okay is a really good thing to do. So for me, it's, exercise, playing musical instruments, seeing friends, things like that. Yours might be different. So just being aware of what it is that you need to do so that you feel okay and you're not sort of running on empty, because if we're running on empty, we have very little ability to stay calm in those moments. So that would be the first point I'd make. The second thing is, whilst you're calm, take 3 sheets of paper. On the first one, write down every single thing that annoys you about your child, every single situation that is difficult, every little thing that if you could, you would change. Okay, so you might have a huge long list, and that's okay. Even minor kind of irritations can go on there. Then on the second sheet, I'd like you to write down from your first list 5 or 6 things that you would like to kind of change or work on over time. Okay, so 5 or 6 things on that list. And then on the third list, we want 2 to 3 things that are absolute non-negotiables, things that you just cannot continue to live with, situations that are causing a lot of problems, distress in your lives as a family. So that's 2 to 3 things on that piece of paper, and those are the things that we're going to concentrate on first, and then we can draw from the second list and then potentially eventually go to the first list. But what we often find is, once you've started to work on those main 2 to 3 things, other things just follow and they fall into place. So just 2 to 3 main things. What are your non-negotiables? Okay. Then what you need to do is, when everybody's calm and you're all together and you're not in a rush to go anywhere or anything like that, sit down with your child and discuss what those expectations are going to be. Okay, so this might involve a little bit of negotiation. So hearing what your child has to say so that they feel they've got a bit of control over it as well, because that will help them to feel calm and okay. So discuss and plan and agree on what the expectations are going to be so that everybody knows, everybody's clear. You can even write them down. And if you can use positive language with this is always helpful as well. So rather than, don't kick your brother, or don't sort of throw yourself to the floor and scream when we've got to leave the park or something like that. Write down what you want from them. Okay, so I want you to treat your brother nicely and to keep your hands and feet to yourself, or I want you to, when it's time to go, I'd like you to come with me and we can go and do something fun afterwards. Okay, so that's preparing and agreeing on those expectations. And then the second one is, once you've got that agreement in place and you all know kind of what's expected, but you're in that moment and you can see it might go a little bit wrong. Okay, so you can use little challenge games. I guess this is a bit like reverse psychology, but things like, say if you're in the park and that's a bit of a trigger point for your child, you can say, I wonder how fast you can get to that gate. or let's do a bunny hop to the gate, or I've hidden some treats somewhere between here and the car, let's see if we can find them. So it's about kind of, again, taking your child's mind off that transition point or that thing that they don't want to do and putting their mind onto something fun and positive, and that often works. And it helps your child to feel a little bit more in control as well. So that's really helpful, is to do a bit of a game, a bit of a challenge. And then if they've managed to do what it is that you've asked them to do, give them a nice reward. And that can just be a cuddle, or it can be, you know, we're going to watch that programme together this afternoon that we enjoy watching, or it can be, you know, a treat, some chocolate, something like that. And it's just to kind of recognise that they've done really well. You know, they've listened to what you've had to say as a parent, and they've managed to do what it is you've asked them to do. Okay, so that's the reward. Okay, so that's 3 things: prepare and agree on the expectations together, and that might involve some negotiation, the challenge game, and the reward. Okay, so the other thing that is always really important, if it is a transition point that's difficult, is to give your child a warning in terms of, you know, it's going to be 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, so that they know it's coming. And you can, again, negotiate slightly on this. So if they say, well, can we have 2 more minutes instead of 1 more minute, you might say, okay, we'll have 1.5 minutes, meet halfway. But it just prepares them so that they know that that transition's coming. Okay, so that's your 3 sheets of paper, finding your non-negotiables. Before that comes managing your own well-being as well, and then prepare and agree, challenge game, and reward. Okay, the other thing I would say is, if your child is having a meltdown, don't try and talk to them in that moment. Don't try and reason with them, because their thinking bit of their brain's just gone offline. They won't be able to do it. What you need to do in that moment is just help them to calm down. Just, you know, wait it out, or give them a cuddle, or do whatever helps your child to help them to calm down. Only do the verbal dialogue stuff when they are calm and you're calm as well. Okay, I hope that helps.